Oh, bother.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tuesday Newsday. This time actually on Tuesday. So I did have a plan to talk to you all about all the mods that were now compatible with the old world. However, as I'm sure you're well aware, 4.1 is dropping probably around the same time as this video. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and let's get into it. All right, and jumping on in here with patch 4.1, you can see that it's a pretty substantial patch. I have not had time to read through all of this myself, but I'm going to read through it as best as I can with my apparent battle with dyslexia. So I'm going to read through it. I'm going to skip past little stat changes and stuff. If you want to read through that, I will be posting the I'll be posting this in the description down below so you guys can check it out. But I assume that you guys would rather listen to it if you're bothering to come over to my channel. So let's talk about it. After three new legendary leaders arrived in Total War Warhammer 3 with update 4.0 and the Shadows of Change, glad we brought that back up. We've been hard at work to bring out a steady stream of fixes and adjustments in the build up to patch 4.1. But what comes with patch 4.1, you ask? Well, let's not faff about and dive straight into the patch notes with some juicy highlights. Tear down those walls and bolster your own with the latest settlements and sieges battle update. Okay. Mix things up on the fly with skill point resets. Ooh, okay. Projectiles find their way with homing 2.0. Have no idea what that means. Customize your main menu background with 19 additional themes. Ooh. Stand sturdy with a massive suite of bug fixes, race tweaks, UI improvements, and more. Okay, and it looks like this is where you can go to download it. Guys, if you don't know how to download it, I mean, I'm surprised we're at this point. But anyway, let's see. That's quite a bit going on right there. Let's start from the top. Skill point reset. We've added a button to allow you to reset skills. When clicked, this will wound the character for 3 turns and will clear all skills. Okay, that's pretty cool. That sounds like Drunk Flamingo's mod. Except for instead of wounding, what they like to do was make you pay money, which I think I like wounding better. Never even considered it. Settlement and siege battle update. So the goal of this patch is to improve your experience with the current settlement battle gameplay and the features within it. While adjustments have been made to interactions with settlements on the campaign map, the bulk of the changes can be seen within the battles themselves. We'll look at the intent of the changes, how we're striving towards that intent, and how it will alter your settlement battle strategies moving forward. Let's roll. Let's roll indeed. Okay, so looks like we're starting with linked capture points. Okay, the intent to add more depth to gameplay when using stealthy units to exploit the score-based victory objective. Okay. An example would be yeah, I've seen that before. Tier 5 Zarnagrun settlement early on in the campaign, just because like you have some like sneaky stalkers and stuff. I hate exploits like that. That's why I really don't like the capture point system, but hey, whatever. The major capture point has been fairly exposed to stalker units and should be more of a final fallback location when defending your settlement. That makes sense. This change also pairs with the update, or with the 4.0 update, where we removed victory tickets from the key building point. Okay, so you have to capture, now you have to capture the key building to take the victory location. So it kind of works to split the defender's attention in two as well. That way, the victory point really is kind of the final fallback, and you still want to guard that key building location to keep that morale, but also they can't take you down just by taking that. I like that. I hope that the AI can adapt to that. You will now find that the major capture location is... Okay, we already talked about that. We're moving on. Settlement vision abilities. The intent is to add further gameplay depth when using stealthy units to exploit the score-based victory objective. Currently, Stalker or other stealth units can freely walk throughout a settlement without being spotted. If you guys have watched any of my You on Bow Let's Play, you know that I've been using my Tigers like this. Not as gamey, but just to flank around my enemies while they're defending a settlement. I'll just sneak my Tigers in on the other side and we'll take them out that way. I don't think it's really a cheesy tactic, but towers should probably be able to see a herd. Is it a herd? I don't know. A group of tigers rolling through, about to attack some crossbowmen in the rear. That's just my belief. So, you know, as much as it pains my current strategy, I will adapt. Buildable settlement towers now have the ability that grants the vision of stalker units nearby. This is to aid in finding those sneaky units. It feels like someone was playing real cheesy at Creative Assembly and somebody else got sick of it and decided that this is how sieges were going to go now. Additional barricade positions. The intent is to add more battle flow control options to players in both major and minor settlement battles. An example being some of the minor settlements having split paths with a barricade in one path but not the other. Yeah, you know, I remember that all the way back to the first, oh gosh, like gameplay for Warhammer 3 when they were doing the Khorne invasion, and everyone was saying, "Oh, it looks like it's on the rails. It looks like it's on the rails." And all I kept saying is, "Why can you build a barricade in one spot but not the other? This looks stupid." And finally, somebody's done something about it, so I love that. We have gone through each of the settlement maps and added more barricade placement options where possible. Some maps have more options than others that make use of the space within the settlement. Okay, I'm cool with that. The barricades have been strategically placed to face outward from their connected capture locations, effectively bolstering the defenses. Is that not a thing that was already in place? Because if not, that's pretty stupid. Now, I have some notes as to how I would fix these battles. I think that towers should always, like the internal towers, should just be there, and the barricades should be buildable during the battle, because that seems like something like towers can't be built in the middle of a battle, but barricades for sure can. Anyway, restricted single build changes. The intent is to reduce player frustration and micromanagement when interacting with the toggled build system, allowing a slot to have, allowing a slot to only have a single building. The player attacker defender ratio is 70-30 for minor settlements and 87-13 for major settlements. The changes should make these battles more enjoyable when playing the attacker. What? You can only build. We have changed the way that buildable towers and barricades can be interacted with in battle. Okay. The deployment phase will remain the same. The changes will be during the battle phase and will limit the building slots to only one building. What this means is that once you have built in a slot, you will not be able to dismantle or rebuild it when it is broken. Plus, once a building has been destroyed, that slot is gone forever. Oh, okay. Yeah, guys, if that was your intent, you should have just said so in your intent. Okay, so basically what it is saying is that, and I do hope that the music isn't louder than me, guys. I do apologize if it is. Let me scoot this mic a little bit closer. So the intent is to basically make it to where you can't rebuild busted towers. No more tower defense. You can build them once, and then once they're gone, they're done. That's very interesting. Very interesting. And it looks like you can upgrade, but you can't remove. I don't know if that was a thing that was happening, like people were just removing. Whatever, I don't care. I think it's cool. Maybe they were doing it to like reallocate points to another capture point. This all seems very multiplayer-ish, but hey, whatever. Let's see. The next is weapon damage versus buildings rebalance. Okay. All right, yeah. Let's talk about that. The intent is to increase the overall time it takes for units to destroy buildings. This will come alongside a building health rebalance, which we'll get to in a moment, as the current sentiment is that buildings are destroyed too quickly to be effective during defense. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. If you've seen I keep going back to my Yuanbo Let's Play. But if you've seen my Yuanbo Let's Play, then you'll know that like I'll put 3 or 4 archers on a tower and it just melts. It just melts. It's gone. Arrows probably shouldn't do that to a building. Not unless they're fire arrows, which is different. The building damage modifiers for melee and missile units have all been rebalanced to make units feel like they're doing the appropriate kind of, or doing the kind of damage that you would expect when attacking various buildings in battle. Some units, such as Skaven warp grinders and dwarf miners and artillery, are more themed towards destruction of buildings, and this will be shown in their greater ability to bring them down in battle. I like that. Units with fire type attacks or wall breaker. Okay, so what I just said, or the wall breaker attribute will get increased bonus values for this modifier when attacking buildings. And both of these additional bonuses stack. I like that. So if they're like wall breaker and they have flaming attacks, they're just gonna annihilate buildings. That's fine with me. Okay, cool. I like that. Buildings, health, rebalance, and progression. Progression. That's interesting. That's an interesting word. The intent is to add more incentives and usefulness to upgrading the wall building and increase the overall time it takes for units to destroy the walls in battle. This will work in tandem with the weapon building damage modifier rebalance mentioned above. Okay. We've added more functionality to the defensive buildings chains on campaign. The building's health now scales up as you improve your settlement wall defense building. Okay, finally. You know, I've been a little like perturbed that I don't even want to build defense buildings, because I was always a defense builder in Warhammer 2, but I haven't felt a need to do so because they don't really give you that much. This gives you something. This really gives you something to work with. I like that. Note that unique settlements like, for example, Altdorf, have these increases unlocked by the main campaign buildings chain rather than the walls. That's good. I wonder if Nangal falls under that. Each time you upgrade the walls of your major settlement, we will now increase the building health in the battle. You will now benefit from the increased health values of your walls, towers, and gatehouses that scale up in the building levels. The overall health of the outside wall has been appropriately doubled. I like that. Not appropriately, approximately. Guys, I told you I can't read, but I'm doing my best for you. The walled towers and buildable towers range split. What's that mean? The intent is to create a difference between the projectile ranges of the wall towers and the built towers. See, that's interesting. I would like it if they went more like different levels of towers gave you different ranges and bonuses, if that makes sense. Like different, like if you're playing Cathay, you should start with arrow towers, right? that moves to sniper towers, that moves to cannon towers, that moves to I don't know, like fire towers, like dragon fire towers or something. I don't know, but this is not that exactly. It looks like they're just changing the difference between, like, interior towers are just less annoying, which is fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with interior towers being not fucking annoying. Oh, excuse my language if there's any kids watching. The wall-based towers have retained their longer range as they're built on the settlement. They're built into the settlement, whereas the buildable towers have a much reduced range, as their role is to be more of a reactionary solution to enemies. See, that still seems just gamey, and I don't really like that. Upgradable, fine, but we'll talk about sieges another time. New backgrounds. We're delighted to enhance your Total War Warhammer 3 experience with a touch of nostalgia and added personalization. We have reintroduced the main menu themes from Total War Warhammer 1 and Total War Warhammer 2, offering more ways to customize your experience. Indulge in the 9 classic images from the first installment, or breathe life into your menu with the 10 animated backgrounds from the sequel, alongside all the existing Total War Warhammer 3 themes. To change the background, simply, okay, we know how to do that. That is great. I love that. I'm really gonna have to like decide which one I really want to be my new background. That's gonna be awesome. So, stability and performance. Fix a rare crash. Okay, guys, I'm not gonna linger too long on this. Looks like mostly AI stuff. Change the difficulty from another okay, whatever. I don't play on legendary. I'm not that cool. Fix the battle realism. Okay. Fix a rare pathfinding issue. Fix a multiplayer crash when 2 or more people try to teleport to a quest battle at the same time. I've never done that, but that sounds hilarious. Fix a rare soft lock when playing as Slanesh, and ending your turn after summoning the Disciple army for the first time. Okay. Reworked homing projectiles to be far more aggressive and accurate in their homing, enabling them to hit their targets more consistently. I'm just trying to picture what they're talking about when they're talking about homing projectiles. Like a fireball? That would be a homing projectile. That makes sense. Fixed pending diplomacy offers not being interactable if they were received when the diplomacy panel was already open. That's okay. Spellcasters without snipe are now revealed. What spellcasters have snipe? Okay, I'm not even gonna get into that. Fix an issue where the Warriors of Chaos Norska enslaved captives option would sometimes appear for other races post-battle, rather than just between the Warriors of Chaos and Norska. I've never had that happen, but, you know, shame for those who have. Ambush withdrawal zones have been moved from behind the ambushed army to a harder to reach location. Interesting. Siege capture points now use sticky tooltips. Okay. An alert has been added for attackers when they are losing control of a location that unlocks another. That's par for the course. Fixed a number of Lord recruitment rank technologies that were not increasing said rank when replacing a Lord, only recruiting a fresh one. Okay. Only when recruiting. Interest. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what, like if you were playing as Carl Franz and he got you that +3, and then you lost a Lord in battle, you wouldn't get that +3 for recruiting a replacement. Okay. Thank you for that. Certain buildings that applied corruption faction wide were applying it to every region, and so it would combine in provinces with multiple regions. Now it applies per province. Fix some instances where when a settlement building was damaged, the settlement would lose its walls. Okay. AI rules and logic. Okay. Here's what I want to know. Is the AI going to attack me as a defender? Because when they threw that ratio up there, that's what I want to know. When is the AI going to attack me? Now, I've been playing with so heavily modded that of course you guys have seen the AI will attack me, but it would be nice if I didn't have to use mods to do that. Fixed an issue causing AI reinforcing units to remain idle. Okay, these are all battle stuff. Garrison will now correctly enter the battlefield when delegated to the AI. I didn't realize they weren't. Improvements have been made to ensure AI defenders in settlement battles are not pulling back too aggressively from units. Don't even know what that means. Improve the position of AI archer units to allow them to pull back from settlement walls when attacking. Army has entered the settlement. That's good. Reduce the frequency of ground-based AI. Okay. Guys, I'm going to let you read the rest of this. It doesn't look like anything is really going to... Well, hold on. No. I was thinking they were going to start attacking more in siege battles. Exploit fixes. Fix an exploit where casters mounted on war beasts could cast a magic missile spell and then move to avoid the paying the winds of magic cost for it. That's fine. Immortal Empire's achievement unlock conditions. We've adjusted the unlock requirements for campaign completion achievements to include the long victory type. Okay, that's good. I didn't realize that you had to either get domination or ultimate victory to get that, but that's good. Achievements cannot be granted retroactively, but can be earned on existing saves that complete the long victory after the patch. Okay. Does that mean that the patch is going to be save game compatible? I can't imagine it is. Single entity knockdown reactions. We've adjusted the behavior of units targeting a single entity that's been knocked down in combat. Okay, I've had this happen to me where it was when I was fighting as Archaon and I had to fight against Bodvar Rib Spreader, and like I'd keep knocking him down and then Archaon would run around in circles, like do figure eights around him and not do anything. This can be broken down into two different cases. When a unit with multiple entities knocks down a single entity target, previously they would engage in charge behavior where they'd charge across and around the entity they knocked down until the entity stood back up. Under the new system, they have two new cases they can employ depending on the state of the knockdown entity. If the knockdown entity lands outside of the squad's OBB, a concept where we draw an invisible box around a cluster of the unit to determine the rough space it can. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. The unit will move into their formation over the fallen enemy and wait for it to get back up. If the knockdown entity lands inside of a squad's OBB, they will remain stationary and simply wait for the target to stand back up. For a single entity versus single entity matchup, once the target is knocked down, the attacking entity will move towards them and place themselves near their fallen foe in a position to attack them once they stand back up. Great. Great. I love that. We are aware that these cases do not apply when please be aware that these cases do not apply when pursuing routing enemies. But can we make can we make chasing routing enemies more effective? Because what ends up happening is like you swipe at them, and you swipe at them, and you swipe at them, and you can't hit them because they're running, and that doesn't make any sense. If you catch them and you strike them in the back, you should be hitting them every single time. Projectile homing 2.0. It's in the name. We have refactored how the game handles homing behavior for projectiles. making them significantly more reliable and opening up a space to create a variety of low and high-powered homing profiles. Projectiles prior to this change could not correct their course vertically and were bound by a lot of limitations, but we've now unlocked the power to create truly frightening cruise missiles. As a part of this change, we've rebalanced existing homing profiles to account for the most aggressive implementation. So basically, you can't shake off a magic missile. But on average, expect homing projectiles to be more effective at hitting their mark in general. Okay, that's interesting. Also, that is a sweet looking spell. I've never used that before. I really like that. Okay, here is a bunch of units that have been affected by the change. I'm not going to read them, but I will scroll past them so that you guys can pause as you like. All right, races and balance. General. The embedded hero action training now increases experience gained for units within the army rather than a flat amount per turn. What? Was it just giving it before and you didn't have to select training for it to happen? Or I'm very confused. Added missing garrison units to the Empire forts, High Elf gates, and Great Bastion when occupied by Ogre Kingdoms or Wood Elves. That's not something I've ever done. Fixed an issue that would allow units with stalk and fire while moving, but not snipe, to fire without being revealed. Okay. Spells. Okay, I'm going to scroll past this, but you guys feel free to pause and take a look at it. It doesn't really... I mean, it's numbers, so... Oh, Fireball will explode more reliably in the center of enemy units instead of penetrate through a unit entirely. That's cool. That's good, because Fireball's always just been kind of like a... Okay, I like that. Skills... Fix a large number of red skills that apply to rank 7 and above units, but were not applying to relevant regiments of renown units. That's good. Added character traits for when fighting battles and using hero actions against the Chaos Dwarfs. That's good. Items and ancillaries. The student and archivist followers will now drop when a character ranks up on the same turn as when the faction has completed researching a technology. Didn't realize that was even a thing. Thank you. Yeah, person from Reddit. See, now I'm sure that this was a nice person from Reddit who didn't verbally assault CA when they were telling them about this. Fixed a number of issues with the Sword of Cain. It will no longer be awarded to quest battle factions nor non-standard armies. It was awarded to quest battle factions? Good lord. Could you imagine your caravan getting a hold of the Sword of Cain? Unstoppable caravan right there. I love it. It will now correctly return to the Shrine of Cain when the owner is defeated by an army that is not able to equip it. We've added ancillary bonuses for the following lords and their unique ancillaries: Mother Ostankia, Miao Ying. Okay, cool. General updates for the Beastmen. Added... Now, guys, again, I'm not going to focus on this stuff, so we'll just talk about this stuff up here. Added missing corruption effects to the unique herd stones found in Lothern and the Oak of Ages. Added unique herd stone buildings in Kislev Zarnegrund and Wei Jin. Cool. Fixed some cases of events appearing for beastmen that would modify unit recruitment cost, despite them having 0 recruitment cost. Okay, that's good, I guess. Hopefully it means that they do something else cooler and they're just not gone. Beastmen will no longer receive units that affect growth in a province, as their herd stones do not use it. Beastmen factions will no longer receive missions to control provinces or gain income. Fix a rare instance where, after fighting the Beastmen final battle, identical imposters of Karl Franz and Lewin Luyencourt would appear on the campaign map. Fix an issue where if Beastmen characters were being recruited at rank 15 or higher, the challenge "The Strong Survives" was no longer possible to unlock. Now it will progress when the characters are recruited at rank 15 or higher. Okay, added multiplayer caps on Zongors. Now what they need to be telling us right here is that they have added the lore appropriate units to the Beastmen, like the Things in the Woods, like the Cockatrice. That would be cool. Added the incarnate elemental of Beast, the Beastman Redline skills, Bestial Butchers, and Freakish Mutation. Tarox's Brass Bulls, Tarox the Brass Bulls Titans of the Deep Forest skill will now apply to incarnate elemental of Beast units. Okay, cool. Bretonia not being able to sack or raise herd stones. Fixed the Estalian Diestro follower being available to Bretonia when it was intended for the Empire only. Okay. Campaign for the Chaos Dwarfs. Heroes can no longer be embedded into Chaos Dwarf convoys. Why? Okay. I mean, it seemed like a pretty cool thing you could do. I don't know why you wouldn't allow it. Fix an issue where certain buildings could not be constructed in Tancred Castle settlement in the Realms of Chaos campaign. Okay, cool. Don't care. Traits. Fixed a number of innate traits. Okay. Fix some missing tooltips in the Chaos Dwarfs technology tree when mousing over the resource cost. The unilateral agreement technology now functions correctly. Fix some magic items not dropping via the Tower of Zarseat. Chaos Dwarf specific magic items will now also drop after battle victories, not just the Tower of Zar mechanic. Okay, Demons of Chaos. The Shrine of the Widowmaker landmark now provides a favored corruption of the faction that owns the settlement. That's good. The Demon Prince now recruits god-specific versions of the Chaos Furies units, depending on which god their settlement is dedicated to. Fix some instances where the landmark buildings were not appearing for the Demon Prince. Remove the Research Technologies mission from the Demon Prince, as Daniel can't complete it. Added the Blue Scribes and Demons of Chaos versus AI roster. Demon Prince. Base Demon Prince has now been included in the rare single entity cap. Okay. Dark Elves. Fix an issue where AI controlled Dark Elves weren't recruiting Black Arcs. I didn't realize that, but I'm not usually on that side of the map. Fix the Dark Elf settlement buildings in Nagaron and Lothern and Tor Ivres, and the High Elf colony settlements not affecting corruption. Fix an issue where Marathi was unable to construct buildings in the Empire Fort settlements. Okay. We don't care about units unless we're getting new ones. Dwarfs. Now you can tell that the dwarfs are about to get something big because they don't even they basically do nothing for them. The Great Temple of Hashut, desecrated landmark, Zarnagran, now provides Oath Gold instead of Winds of Magic when constructed by the dwarfs. Well, that makes sense. Grand Cathay. Let's see. Heroes can no longer be embedded into Cathay caravans. Again, I don't know, like, who asked for this? Fix an issue where performing the matters of state action, structured operation, and then saving loading before performing it would not remove the effect. Okay, that's fine. You are no longer able to target Yuanbo's deployed garrison armies with other matter of state actions. What? Okay. Settlement, building, construction can no longer be canceled from matters of state panel. Okay. The Empress. Look, they're not that good. Okay, we're not going to get into that. Skills. The Grand Magistrate's Tactician's Stand. You're... Okay, that's a lot. Stand your ground skill no longer applies to all units in his army, just himself, the selfish git. Closest to the heavens. Reduce spell intensity. Okay. Traits. Items. Okay. Let's from now on, I'll scroll over the rest of that stuff too. We'll just talk about the general updates and the campaign. Fix a soft lock where the player could unlock both cooking slots from Grom's Cauldron before the Blacktooth mission. To unlock them, both was issued. Now the mission will immediately complete if they are already unlocked. Fix the Sea Dragon's Teeth landmark building showing twice when playing as the Greenskins. Fix some units not unlocking ingredients for Grom's Cauldron. High Elves. Fixed a issue where the High Elf Archmage units weren't receiving bonuses from Lilith's Blessings stands. High Elf Fortresses, or High Elf Fortress Gates buildings now give battle supplies correctly. But why do they take attrition? Remove the attrition. I'm going to start a petition. Remove the character type restrictions from the Advisor to the King High Elf follower. Okay. That's fine. Foreign factions, including Valkia, can now recruit the Bloodbrute Behemoth Gorgon Regiment of Renown in their campaign. I like that. Fix an incorrect army preview for Mother Estankia's final battle mission. Okay. Mother Estankia, the eternally tacked on. Okay. We already read that. When a Kislev faction completes the supporters race, they will now receive a dilemma offering confederation, a military alliance, or war declaration rather than an instant confederation. Okay. Added missing default diplomatic relations between Kislev and the vampire counts. Tweaked the Gate of Thrones. Speed acceleration penalties increased to negative 34%. Remove direct damage when moving. Rapidly drains. Okay. I was like, Gate of Thorns. What? That's all for the Gate of Thorns. That's fine. Units. See if there's anything really cool in here. Do they take away their splash damage? Because that needs to be gone. AP damage was taken way down. Okay, cool. Technology. I'll let you guys read that. Lizardmen. Okay. Fixed a number of instances where provinces were missing from the geomantic web or had links that were overlapping others. Fixed a number of randomly dropped magic items that could not be stolen, fused, or salvaged. Fixed Oxyodal having a negative effect to building construction time as a reward for visions of the old ones. Lord Mazdamundi's diplomacy effect in his faction trait now also applies to the Chaos Dwarfs. Fixed Nakai's building Sentinel Hall, missing the population surplus cost. I don't see anything really that cool. Nurgle, again, you can tell Nurgle's about to get a big one. Did I skip the Empire? Or did they just, like, not... They skipped the Empire. Okay, cool. Just making sure they didn't do anything to help the Empire at all. Nurgle cult buildings will now continue to apply their effects when growth is at 0 due to having a 5 population surplus. Ogre Kingdoms, it's just units. Skaven, fix the number of Skaven factions being unable to recruit Eshin sorcerer heroes. Fix the select units on the augment panel, but not selecting the unit in the panel, instead always selecting the first unit. Fix an issue where using a Doom Engineer against a Chaos Dwarf or Demon Prince owned settlement wouldn't create a Warlock laboratory building. These aren't super exciting. Fix Skaven Pasture Resources building not using their updated names from Warhammer 2. Okay. Slaanesh Seduction costs not displaying. Fix an issue where demon cult buildings were not able to be constructed in the cult's chaos. Oh, there's the Empire. Fix an issue where Gotrek and Felix would gain their magic items multiple times when spawning after the first time. Okay. Empire Imperial supplies units now correctly merge and sort with standard variants. Okay. Chosen of the Gods can now... Okay. Wow, Zinch. I guess they're just fixing him back from... fixing Zinch back to, the super buff that they got. Added a search bar to the Formless Horror panel and Skirmish versus AI Changeling from Selector. Form Selector, excuse me. This will make finding a specific form a lot easier. That's cool. The Borrow Time Changing of the Ways action can now be used on armies at sea. Clarified the requirements for changing of the ways. Transfer settlement action. Fix an issue where the mission chain for the Blue Scribes would abort if the stage 2's mission target settlement was captured by an ally. Okay, that's a lot. That's fine though. Fix the Changeling's parasitic income buildings not having an effect that hides the Changeling's local armies. But did they make it to where the Changeling can lose? Fix the Changeling's Immortal Empire long victory reward not correctly applying. When recruiting a saved character as the Changeling, you will no longer recruit the faction your cult is currently in as intended. Okay. I don't really see a whole lot here. Fix the Vampire Coast pieces of 8 that are awarded from quest battles not showing up in the pieces of 8 panel. Okay. Change the raid stead recruitment maximum capacity to display the accumulated maximum between region and province recruitment pools. Added a missing default diplomatic relations between Kislev and the Vampire Counts. Okay. Warriors of Chaos got a little bit. Fix Warriors of Chaos having access to Fu Chao's unique port. Fix Bellacor's upgraded unholy manifestations not having their cooldowns reduced by his unique technologies. Fixed the demonic pact technology not applying to the... these are all... I appreciate all these fixes. I really do. I guess I was just expecting like more other stuff, like mechanics changes and stuff. Not that I'm really disappointed, because it looks like a lot up top, but this seems like a lot of filler. Fix the 100 to 199 health segment of the Athel Lauren Forest. not displaying the -5%. Yeah, I mean, this is, again, these are good. These are very good. Structure now receives the stolen power trait. I'm glad that they're fixing all this stuff. I didn't realize that so much was broken. Okay, let's get into campaign. Oh, yikes. The spell browser can no longer be opened by right-clicking unit cards in battle during the prologue. Okay. If anybody still play the prologue, excuse me, more power to you. Gotrek and Felix will now spawn in the Realm of Chaos campaign. That's cool. The intro movie for the Realm of Chaos will now play properly. Didn't know anybody was still playing it, but hey, more power to you. Mirror of Madness. I don't think anybody cares about the Mirror of Madness. Let's talk about Immortal Empires. Fix the Southern Sentinels settlement in Immortal Empires, starting with a settlement level too low to support the defense building it contained. Okay, cool. Fixed an issue with Yeti Peak settlement in Immortal Empires, allowing the wrong buildings to be constructed within it. Fixed the Journey Complete event not appearing when a character traveled to via Uzkalak Canal lane in Immortal Empires. Okay. Fix the number of final battles in Immortal Empires campaign being in the wrong location. Fix the reduction to sea lane travel time effect not applying in the River Rune sea lane. Fixed Kurgan Warband armies sometimes spawning in impassable terrain in Immortal Empires. The Pillar of Bone landmark, Death Gorge, can now be constructed by more races. Interesting. The Hall of Rebirth landmark, Lamia, can now be constructed by the Vampire Coast. The Dragon Emperor's Wrath now also affects the regions of Bloodwind Keep and Foundry of Bones beyond the Great Bastion. But okay, you guys know every time they bring up the Great Bastion, I'm like, why does it take attrition? Fix the Sea Dragon's Teeth landmark building, producing gemstones for factions that do not trade. Fix an issue where defense buildings could not be built in the Clarek Spire settlement. Battles, choke point battles. Adjusted the collision resolves issues with flying units being submerged in the Bone Chill River. I was hoping that they had done something to make choke point battles more choke pointy. I don't know. Custom battles. Fix an issue that would cause a selected settlement level to be one lower than intended for custom battles. Minor settlement battles. Updated barricade rotations in the Saber Mountain minor settlement map. Quest battles. Fix instances of passive AI in Lewin's Sword of Corone battle quest or quest battle. Fixed instances of passive AI in Azhag Slaga Slashes quest battle. Fixed reinforcement zones sometimes showing up in some quest battles even though they weren't relevant and couldn't be used. Adjusted large tree locations from the edge of the Black Fortress siege walls to stop units getting stuck. Fixed an issue in the Zufbar siege battle map where units would float in the attacker's deployment zone. That's weird. Multiplayer, I'll let you guys read the multiplayer stuff. I don't play multiplayer. Well, I mean, I play multiplayer campaigns every now and then, but I never finish them, so if any of my friends are watching, I'm sorry. Game. Holy crap. That's a ton. Okay. Let's look at it. Fix an issue with Skaven Master Assassin not walking correctly, which now walks smoothly without skipping the animation. Cleaned up assets in the Lustria Ogre Camp. Fixed being able to zoom into a player using the player list when waiting for players to load out of battle. Okay. Fixed visible alpha cards on the vampire account necromancers. Fixed the quality of Mother Estancia's cauldron. Didn't realize it looked crappy. Fixed an issue that in rare cases would stop flying units like the Blue Scribes from correctly playing their death animation, which would be a real shame for those of you who have not seen it yet. In battle, VFX for spells and multiple targets will now not show on dead entities. There's so many bugs that I am just oblivious to. Probably because I enjoy the game and I don't just like sit there and stare at stuff like that. But hey, whatever. Corrected terrain props under terrain holes to be visible in the shroud. Yuan bows. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. Yuan bows. Yuan bow no longer. Oh, weapon no longer slips from his hand when he is knocked flying. Herald of Tzeentch no longer disappears after being knocked flying. Yuan bow no longer slides across the ground when he gets up. Fix the shield placement of the Caress Demon Prince. The changeling has shapeshifted into someone that now holds their staff correctly. Fixed matched combat animations for the Lamasu and Bale Taurus. Fixed a skinning issue on Chaos Dwarf Overseers. Ethereal Ancestral Warriors no longer accumulate blood. Fixed the color changing plumes of the Cathay Celestial Guards. Lamasu's animation for attacking castles will now play out as intended. Fixed an issue causing Zhao Ming to display Yuan Bow's dragon effects when flying combat animations. Good lord. Fix an issue where Akshina ambushers would drop an incorrect weapon upon death. Stop the corruption color guide sometimes disappearing when zooming in and out. Stopped the corruption overlay from sometimes defaulting back to Tzeentch then when zooming in and out. So, my lord, guys. Selected and assigned select assets to be visible in Shroud. Okay. Let's see if there's anything actually good here. Arthoriel the Everwatcher will now use his correct model in campaign. I like that. Added a destroyed state to barricades. Improves Centaur's head and chest movement. Fix the number of portrait images. Mirror of the Ice Queen will now correct the displays passability. Fix disappearing walls on Empire Alpine Ridge. I'm not really seeing a whole lot. I mean, it looks like I can tell just by looking at this, guys. There's a reason that they have taken so long to get this patch out. I get that. Look at all that. I mean, hopefully them doing this much on this patch tells you that they are going to be solely focused on just content for not Shadows of Change, but Thrones of Decay. And really, I hope so, because I think the unspoken truth about what happened with 4.0 is there was so many bug fixes and stuff that it kind of all got wrapped into the overall cost of the DLC. I'm not saying that's why they raised the price, but what I'm saying is they didn't pump out as much content because they were doing all of this. So, and I remember the last set of patch notes being pretty sizable as well, so just something to keep in mind. Fixed looping audio in story panel. Okay. Fixed Mother Estancia's sound. Okay, that's sound stuff. You can no longer pull a fast one by clicking the diplomacy buttons quickly to add invalid actions to the deal, you crafty devil. Units with burst fire projectiles now correctly display their ammo as the number of bursts remaining instead of total ammo remaining. Fixed Russian subtitles not showing for the Chaos Dwarf intro and Victory movies. Removed references to Maelstrom attrition as it does not exist in the Immortal Empires campaign map. 8 Gold Hellbrass now appropriately named 8 Gold Hell... What? Okay. That's pretty funny. Fix the following skills not appearing in game due to overlapping coordinates on the skill node set. Lord of Wei Jin, Yuan Bo. Okay, gotcha. Guys, we're about an hour into these, and it is just it's atrocious how much stuff that they have put in here, and I'm not mad about any of it, but I'm not going to linger any longer. I'm going to let you check out the rest of these fixes for yourself. Again, most of these are just little fixes, which end up being pretty big overall. So again, I think that this is a good thing. I hope that it means Thrones of Decay is going to be solely 100% focused on Thrones of Decay and not trying to fix the game, because I think that is a lot of what was lost in translation during the Shadows of Change. But before I go into a full hour, I am going to sign off of here and just say that to all my friends, wherever you are, good morning, good evening, and good night.